Now anytime you grill fruit, it's going to naturally draw out the sugar into the fruit to the outside, and it gives, even with the sweet fruit, it's going to add the extra sweetness to it. Bananas, watermelon does a really good job on the grill. And like I said, with this one, if you want to, you don't have to cook it out on an open grill. But if you cook it in a flat pan, just keep in mind that it will stick fairly quickly, so kind of keep your eye on it, because you want to cook it about a medium to medium high to let it just lightly scorch, enough for the sugar to caramelize. Because we're going to roll the banana in a cinnamon sugar mix where we're going to add a little bit of nutmeg. Now last week we'd worked with cardamom too, and cardamom actually goes really well with this if you want to add some of it. And also you can add just a pinch of cloves if you wanted to, just to give it a little extra flavor. Okay, so what we're going to do, now you do want to make sure that for this one especially, that the bananas are pretty firm, because if they're too soft, when you throw it on the grill, it'll turn to a mush, and if it's on an open grill, it'll probably just fall apart on you, so you got to be careful about that, and it makes it a big mess. And the bananas I'm using here is just basic common bananas, most people know it as. It's actually called a Cavendish banana. But they also have, the baby bananas, and we also got the green plantains. These recipes you can substitute using any of those with, and it will change the flavor a little bit, but you can tell the difference in it. So especially the plantain. I love this one with the plantains too. This recipe goes really well with it. So you want to cut this basically into thirds lengthwise. Now, I'm cheating where I'm using a knife. It's already got the hose in it. That helps keep it from sticking. If you have a problem when you're cutting something and it's sticking like that, take a little bit of pan spray and just kind of spray on the sides before you cut it. That'll keep whatever you're cutting from sticking to it. And so that way you won't make as easy a mess or big of a mess, and some people actually become more accident prone too when they're doing that. So definitely want to avoid that. Now I've already got cinnamon sugar in there, so I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of nutmeg. Kind of mix that in there. Just take the banana, coat it fairly generously. Now, make sure you put the flat side down first, starting off. Let that cook in like that. Now obviously the centerpiece, it's flat on both sides, so it don't matter which side you put it on for that one. Okay. This is just a non-stick skillet. It's the kind that has, I didn't spray it or nothing, because when it cooks the sugar down and starts caramelizing, because it has the air being able to flow under there, it doesn't stick as much. But if you're using the flat ones, you got to remember to be careful to keep it from burning, and it will stick really bad on you if you're not careful. Okay, let me change gloves first. So while that's cooking, I'm going to go ahead and get out some ice cream, put it into a dish. Any type of vanilla ice cream works really well. French or vanilla bean. Okay. I'm going to be coating this with a little bit of coconut, a little bit of pecans. Let's see. And a little bit of chocolate, a little bit of caramel. All right, should be about ready to flip. It's starting to toast it a little bit. You get some light grill marks there. Of course, if you're doing it on an open grill, it's going to get, you know, a lot darker and more pronounced when you do that. Okay. Now, of course, this is where you can change toppings. Just think about a banana split. Basically, that's what this is kind of where you mix a banana foster with a banana split. And any of the ingredients you put on there, if you want to put maraschino cherries on top of there, you can throw them on. Other types of nuts, you don't have to use the pecans. The walnuts go really good. And then there's so many different flavors you can put on. Add fresh fruit to this. Where you're grilling this out, you can actually take strawberries and just cut them in half and kind of just pan fry those too a little bit. Draw the sweetness out just a little bit on those and then serve it with this, and that goes really well. Or if you want to take Napoleon ice cream instead of the vanilla, then you can add the strawberries and then some chocolate. Actually take some chocolate and shave it down and put that over top of it. So just different ideas of how you can use that. Okay. Just lay that across there. Okay. Go ahead and put a little bit of coconut. And you got a quick, easy dessert. Especially during the summertime. It's actually really light, but it's full of flavor, as you'll find out here in a second. And there's so much you can do in changing that around to fit your own personal taste. I definitely encourage everyone to experiment with, you know, their own favorite fruits. And actually, another thing that goes really good with bananas is hot peppers too. And so, I mean, it's, if you're really adventurous, you could try grilling a little bit of the jalapenos going with that. Actually, that's something that I personally not like.
Can you talk about the little bananas? Do they taste the same as the big bananas?
The little ones, yes. If you get the baby ones, they're a little bit, they're not quite as sweet as the common ones, but the actual texture and flavor is very similar to. Yep. So that.
You were talking about banana split. It also has a pineapple top.
Yeah, pineapple goes really good with bananas, and actually pineapple is something you can use in any one of these dishes, and it goes really well with it. Actually, any of your tropical fruit, even your guavas, goes really well with that. Coconut, most definitely. And so I've actually had it where instead of pouring the chocolate and the caramel in there, taking coconut milk and cook it down with a little bit of caramel sauce, cook that down a little bit and drizzle that over top of it, and that goes really well. Any of the fresh berries, peaches actually goes really good too. Any of your fruits, they're nutted fruits, they go really well with it. And like I said, it's just something that, you know, depending on what you have on hand or what's, you know, in season or fresh, bananas you're going to find year round. Because, you know, they pretty much don't stop growing.